Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to do another random one today. I put out a tweet the other day that said your retirement funds are basically driving your own destruction. And a couple people reach out. I had a few people retweet it. And I felt like to really explain it, a video is probably the best approach. So let's dive into what I mean by your retirement funds are driving your own destruction. So if we run over here, who would you say is the most powerful person in the world? Would you say it's Bill Gates and his $100+ billion that he wields around like a sword all the time? I would say no, it's not him. The guy we're ultimately going to talk about, the amount of money he has dwarfs anything that Bill Gates has. Would you guys say it's Klaus Schwab, World Economic Forum evil guru, currently hosting all of his evil guru friends in Davos? No, it's not him either. Some of you might say it's Corn Pop, though I would argue Corn Pop can't really manage himself, let alone world destruction. The guy we're talking about ultimately is Larry Fink of BlackRock. So for those not familiar with BlackRock, BlackRock is an investment fund. They currently have $10 trillion under management. There's also another one along these lines, but we're going to primarily focus on BlackRock. Vanguard would be another one with $8.1 trillion under management. So these are your retirement funds. These are your pension funds, for your government employees. You guys with 401ks, you guys that invest in ETFs, think about it. They've been pushing you to invest in ETFs for a really long time. Why? Vanguard in particular runs some of the largest ETFs ever seen, ever created. Just absolutely massive. Now, these guys take all this money, they invest in corporations, and they use all of that voting power to get these corporations to do their bidding. They force these boards to do whatever they want. They come in, I'm your largest shareholder. Go look it up. BlackRock is the largest shareholder in so many companies. It is ridiculous. So they go in and they use the share voting power that's funded by your retirement to make these companies do whatever they want to do. So let me give you an example. So BlackRock went in and forced Apple's board to run the diversity protocol. So they had to run this inclusion and diversity proposal where they do this systematic testing among their system. The board called it unduly burdensome and not necessary. BlackRock was like, we don't care. You're going to do it anyway. So now this is an undertaking that Apple and many other large corporations have to undertake all the time to make sure that there are enough, we're going to say token minorities, women, whatever, on the board, key positions, whatever. They are driving these initiatives that are going on in these corporations. They are also driving all of your ESG initiatives in the same way. They're using your money and shares purchased with that money to drive these corporations to do these different initiatives. Additionally, BlackRock just came out and said, hey, we're in a new world order. BlackRock is also a big player in companies developing digital vaccine passports, digital wallets that track and allocate carbon allowances and central bank digital currencies. Its promotion of a new world order legitimizes what may still try to dismiss as what many still try to dismiss as a conspiracy theory. I apologize. It's really early today. I'm getting a start early today. BlackRock is driving all of this nonsense, and it's for two reasons. One, naturally, it is for money. They find ways to profit off of all of this as they drive these ESG initiatives, use government funds to subsidize and pump into these companies that they're already investors in, all while using your money to do it. But I would argue the larger reason that BlackRock, Vanguard, all of these large firms and funds are doing this is because they don't want to end up with another Occupy Wall Street. Occupy Wall Street was a huge black eye for these guys. If you guys don't remember, it was back in September 2011. All these activists took to the street to protest large financial institutions.
Dear Americans, this July 4th, dream of insurrection against corporate rule. Occupy Wall Street. In mid-July, Counterculture magazine Adbusters follows its tweet with a call to action. Occupy Wall Street, September 17th. Bring tent. Anonymous throws its support behind Occupy, and the movement's momentum takes off via social media. Citizens travel from across the country to meet up with activists in New York as Mayor Michael Bloomberg prepares for a protest. 2,000 protesters descend on Lower Manhattan. The New York City Police Department blocks Wall Street, and the protesters move to Zuccotti Park, where a culture of consensus takes root. Protesters camp for the night and then for the week. Little does anyone know, the occupation is just beginning. Protesters received scant media coverage during the first week, but a few cans of pepper spray, an army of citizen journalists, and close to 1,000 arrests are about to change everything.
These guys don't want another black guy. They don't want people calling out the power that they have amassed, and they have amassed a massive amount of power. People are starting to recognize, but it hasn't really taken hold. The mainstream media is absolutely not going to talk about this because these guys fund so much. You guys think back recently, you're starting to hear about states that won't invest with BlackRock over these ESG investments. These states are starting to see the power that these guys are wielding and forming underneath of themselves. Guys, it is frightening, and they are working against you in ways you can't even imagine. 19 state AGs sue over ESG investments. Many states have started blocking what pension funds can invest with these guys. And guys, you're talking tens of hundreds of billions of dollars in these pension funds that are investing with these guys. I ask and plead that if you have money in any of these funds, particularly these ETF funds, maybe consider it on a moral obligation to look at investing in something else. This is not financial advice. I don't even know if it's necessarily prudent for you in your situation. You have to do what's best for you and your morals and where you want to invest. They tell you all the time to invest in climate things that you don't want to be involved in. Don't invest your money. Don't put your money in. I think this is the same thing, just in reverse. We have to use their same tactics against them in this scenario. These Vanguard and BlackRock ETFs, you guys have to get out of these. Like, we have to get these funds out of here and cripple their power. But these large financial institutions are actively going after our destruction, and we're funding it. All right, guys. So that's my message. That's what I meant by your retirement funds are funding your own destruction. These guys are out to get you. You're giving them money. I would encourage you to go look at where your money is currently sitting and consider maybe making some changes to try to help us all out. This is one way you can make a small change and make a big impact on society. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.